All right, and welcome to the spoilers number 1 for Dungeons and Dragons: Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, the newest Magic the Gathering set that's going to come out in July. Let's check out the spoilers. First up, we're going to start with the red cards, and we're going to have Hobgoblin Captain, creature, Goblin Barbarian, 3/1 for 1 and a red. Pack Tactics is the ability whenever Hobgoblin Captain attacks. If you attack with creatures with total power 6 or greater this combat, Hobgoblin Captain gains first strike until the end of turn. I mean, it's just your, I say, generic but not generic 2-drop in red. Obviously, if you have a Goblin Tribal, mostly on a budget, you're going to want this. Cranko decks will want this. It's going to be a serviceable card. I don't think it'll see much playing standard. Probably mostly just, everyday Goblin decks. Battlecry Goblin. For 1 and a red, creature Goblin. 2/2. For 1 and a red, Goblins you control get +1/+0 and gain haste until the end of turn. Pack Tactics. Whenever Battlecry Goblin attacks, if you attack with creatures with total power 6 or greater this combat, create a 1/1 red Goblin creature token that's tapped and attacking. So again, who wants this? Cranko decks. So right away, this is a better 2-drop than the previous card, but this is very serviceable. I think this might see some play. For sure, Goblin decks in Commander, Standard. We'll see. I mean, I'm going to probably play it because I love goblins, but we'll see. You see a pair of goblins. Instant. 2 and a red. Choose 1. Charge them. Creatures you control get +2/+0 until the end of turn, or you can befriend them. Create 2/1 red goblin creature tokens. So again, it's one of those cards that you get 2 choices. Both probably mediocre, not too great for 3, but it is an instant and you do get a choice, so whatever benefits you on that turn, that's what you should do. It's an okay card. Let's get into equipment. Dueling Rapier? I don't know. Someone correct me in the comments. Who knows? But anyway, for 1 red, artifact equipment with flash. When Dueling Rapier enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +2/+0, and equip cost is 4. It's nice. It costs 1, has flash, so it's a neat combat trick sometimes. I would say definitely gonna get some play in standard and equipment decks. Probably not the more powerful ones, but we'll see. If you're gonna put this in Commander, it's probably only gonna be in artifact or equipment heavy Boros decks more than likely. All right, Orb of Dragonkind, an artifact, a red artifact for 1 and a red. So for 1, you can tap it and add 2 mana in any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast dragon spells or activate abilities of dragons. Again, Dragon Tribal, and this is in red. Personally, I'm definitely going to run this in my Lorehold Commander, Lorehold Secret Commander, because it's going to be a 5-color Commander deck. However, the Secret Commander is Lorehold. Deck tech coming soon at some point. But regardless, we have a second ability for 1 red. For a red, tap it, sacrifice Orb of Dragonkind. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may reveal a dragon card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So again, you can cast it, use it to cast spells, and if you need to find a dragon, you'll dig pretty deep to find one. Dragon decks are always fun. Let's move on to the black cards. We have Wit. Is it White? Wit? We're going to go with Wit. White. I bet it's white. I don't know. Anyway, it's a black zombie soldier for 1 and a black. It's a 3/2. White enters the battlefield tapped. It has an ability called Life Drain. Whenever a creature is dealt damage by white this turn, dies, create a tap 2/2 black zombie creature token then and exile that card. So, whenever a creature is dealt damage by wit and it dies, create a tap. Okay, so you just get a bunch of zombies whenever this thing kills. Similar to a Barons and Gear, but instead of getting counters, you get zombies. Zombie Tribal is always a fun deck. Let's see. And this is the first of a dragon cycle in the set. The first one is the Black Dragon for 5 and 2 black. 4/4 dragon with flying. Has ability of Acid Breath. When Black Dragon enters the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls gets -3/-3 until the end of turn. So for 7, you get a 4 for flyer and a little bit of removal. Honestly, to me, I'd say it's a little bit expensive. It's a nice effect. Probably too expensive. Like I said, dragon decks are always expensive, so I don't know. That's probably the only place it's going to end up being. But who knows? Ebon Death, Dracolich. Dracolich or Dracolich? Dracolich. I like Dracolich better. For 2, black and a black, you get a legendary creature, Zombie Dragon. 5/2 with flash, flying, and Ebon Death, Dracolich enters the battlefield tapped. Like all zombies, or a lot of zombies. You may cast Ebon Death from your graveyard if a creature not named Ebon Death died this turn. So, again, graveyard shenanigans, 4 for 5/2. Not bad. You can flash in at the end of an opponent's turn, and you got a 5/2 flyer. Not bad. And if something dies, you can get it back. So, and again, it costs 4. It flies. So it's going to be easy to cast. Dragon decks, here we come for sure. But we'll see if it finds anything in standard. Here we go. The Book of Vile Darkness. Legendary artifact for black. At the beginning of the end step, if you lost 2 or more life this turn, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. You can tap it, exile the Book of Vile Darkness, an artifact you control named Eye of Vecna and Hand of Vecna. Create a Vecna, a legendary 8/8 black zombie god creature token with indestructible. It gains all triggered abilities of the exiled cards. Wow. So, legendary artifact for a lot of black. You get a lot of zombies, and its payoff is you get one really, really big zombie. So not too bad. Obviously it's restricted because of its casting cost, so it's going to be probably mostly mono black decks. Maybe a black deck with a splash of something else in. I don't know. I like this card. I just don't know how good it actually is. And we have good old Corey. Mtgchuy for 3 and a black. 2/1 flash with flying. The ability on this creature is Tail Spikes. When Mtgchuy enters the battlefield, destroy target creature and opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. So basically, the lore is, I guess, it comes and it finishes off a creature that was dealt damage. 2/1 for 4. Kind of expensive, but it does kill a creature, but it is kind of narrow in that way. I like the card. It's good flavor, good art. The guy just got spikes on his back, and he's for sure dead. Devour Intellect for 1 black sorcery. Target opponent discards a card. If mana from a treasure was spent to cast this spell, instead that player reveals their hand, you choose a non-land card from it, then that player discards that card. Right away, I gotta tell you, I love this card. I've always been a fan of discard since I started playing Magic. And this card is just, I don't know that it's a great card. A lot of times even discard is something you don't want to do. So if you do it, you might as well be able to choose what you're going to choose to discard. And I like the flavor of treasure. I mean, treasure gives you more knowledge, I guess. You pay, right? Let's see. The flavor text is I know what you know soon enough. And like I said, yeah, knowledge is power. And if you get, if you use treasure to get it, it's more flavorful that way, I guess. Probably a sideboard card, especially if you're doing a lot of artifacts. I mean, not artifacts, but treasures. So, Chatterfang. Um, well, Chatterfang makes squirrels, but there's a will, there's a way. And probably the creature that I looked forward to the most out of this entire set, and I only assumed that it was going to be in this because why would you not have a gelatinous cube? It's a news. I personally thought it was going to be green, but I mean, black is just as flavorful. So for 2 black, 4/3 ooze with engulf. When gelatinous cube enters the battlefield, exile target non-ooze creature and opponent controls until gelatinous cube leaves the battlefield. So obviously it's like, when you're playing D&D, you run into the gelatinous cube. If you attack it and you lose, you're inside and you have an opportunity to be saved. And if too much time goes by, you are dissolved. As in the second ability, dissolve. For X and a black, put target creature's card with mana value X, exiled with gelatinous cube, into its owner's graveyard. So into the cube, hangs out in exile, and then into the graveyard. I like the flavor. Will we see much play? I don't know. But again, I like the flavor. Ooze Tribal, I like it. And, well, this is the green card that when I first looked at it, I was probably the most excited just because it, obviously everyone knows it. This is a creature with a Gaia's Cradle. So here we go. For green, we have a 2/1 elf druid, Circle of Dreams druid. Circle of Dreams druid. For green. You can tap it to add 1 green for each creature you control. Obviously, this is extremely powerful, but because it's on a creature, you have to wait a whole turn cycle, or you have to wait a turn before you can activate it. But once you can, it's pretty powerful. And the fact that it is on a creature means that, if it does go away, you can easily bring it back. There's multiple ways. So I probably think that this is going to be a very, very powerful card. Not sure how much play or how it will get played. But I think if it's going to be fun, I definitely am going to play it. Here you go. Inspiring Bard for 3 and a green. It's a 3/3 elf bard. When Inspiring Bard enters the battlefield, choose 1. Bardic Inspiration. Target creature gets +2/+2 until the end of turn. Or Song of Rest. You gain 3 life. So before you get a 3/3 body, and you can either pump up one of your creatures, or you can gain 3 life. Gaining 3 life, I usually don't see that as being too relevant. Maybe in standard where your life is 20, that might do something on defensively, but I think more often than not, you want to get +2/+2 to something, and you're gonna have that 3/3 body, to sit there for defense for the next turn and go ahead and just do what you have to. I don't like the card too much. I love the art though. There's that guy in the harp, or a little mini harp. I don't know what I don't know what that's called officially, but it's a little tiny harp and a little and a minotaur. I like the art. Oh, all right, here we go. This card is in Spanish, and for some reason in Spanish, and I'm going to translate because that's how we roll. In this channel, we like to support the culture, so let's go ahead and read it. Gelatina ocre. Gelatinous ochre? Well, here we go. It is a 0/0 ooze for X and a green. Arroya, la gelatina ocre. Entra al campo de batalla con X contadores de +1/+1 sobre ella. So the gelatinous ochre has trample, and It comes with +1/+1 counters for the amount of X that was paid in its casting cost. Dividends. Dividencia. Cuando la gelatina ocre muera, si tenía 2 o más contadores +1/+1 sobre ella, crea una ficha que sea una copia de ella al comienzo del próximo paso final. La ficha entra al campo de batalla con la mitad de esa cantidad de contadores +1/+1 sobre ella, redondando hacia abajo. So, when the gelatinous ochre dies, if it had 2 or more +1/+1 counters on it, you can create a token that is a copy of it at the end of the next end step. And that creature comes in with half as many +1/+1 counters that were on the original one. Well, if you like +1/+ counters, there you go. It's an ooze tribal. I don't know where it's going to get much play in after that, but it's extremely flavorful. Big fan. Green Dragon. So this is another one of that cycle that I was telling you about. So we have the Green Dragon for 4 green, a 4/4 flying. This dragon has poison breath. When Green Dragon enters the battlefield until the end of the turn, whenever a creature an opponent controlled is dealt damage, destroy it. So basically, in the morning when you were accused of having dragon breath, that's this right here. 4/4 flyer for 6. Once it's out, if you can do, ping everyone of your opponents, they will just die. So pretty good. But I don't know how much play it's going to get. Again, 6 for 4/4. I don't know that that's big enough. But we have Werewolf Pack Leader for green. We have a human werewolf that's a 3/3. With pack tactics, whenever werewolf pack leader attacks, if you attacked with creatures with total power 6 or greater, this combat, draw a card. And for 3 and a green, until the end of turn, werewolf pack leader has base power and toughness 5/3, gains trample, and isn't human. So obviously the flavor here is we have a human werewolf, I guess hybrid, and you can pay and make it a 5/3, and it becomes a full-on werewolf and no longer a human. I'm sure that'll be relevant. I keep doing that. I'm sure that'll be relevant in some obscure situation. But obviously the biggest thing here is pack tactics, which is a theme that does appear in a lot of the cards. So this set basically wants you to go wide with probably everything, with a lot of guys. I mean, everything is power 6 or greater this combat, you draw a card. So you're very incentivized to attack. And when you're attacking for 6 or more each combat, I mean, in standard, that matters because your life is 20. And as far as commander, it'll make games interesting for sure. Plus it costs green. So I don't know. It's probably mostly for mono green decks. Choose your weapon. Instant for 2 and a green. Choose one. 2 weapon fighting. Double target creature's power and toughness until the end of turn. Or you can choose archery. This spell deals 5 damage to target creature with flying. So either you can do some hand-to-hand or you can just shoot an arrow at a flying creature. I like it. It costs 3, so you can put it in a deck that has green in it. I think this is mostly going to become relevant in mono green decks though, and decks with aggro decks, because you're basically you're either trying to deal a lot of damage as fast as you can, or a lot of times the creatures that get in your way or that end up getting over on you, if you will, are creatures with flying. So especially when you're green, you like to have a lot of flying hate. So this card does that. I don't know that it's going to do much in standard, but commander, I like it. Anything green that deals with creature with flying, I like. Move on with some blue. You find the villain's lair for 1 blue. Instant. Choose 1. Foil their scheme. Counter target spell. Or you can learn their secrets. Draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. I would say that this card is good. But the only reason this card is good is because it's an instant. Of course, you would argue that it has to be an instant for it to be a counterspell because, well, you have a strictly better cancel. Cancel is terrible, but cancel is the counterspell of standard. So this is already better than the most generic counterspell that's available in standard. As far as commander, I think this is good. You get to counter something for 3, or you can draw and discard. So again, I think 2 mediocre abilities on a semi-okay casting cost are always good, especially at an instant speed. I like the flavor text though. Give me just a moment. I almost have it. Gracilax Illithid Scholar. For 1, blue, legendary horror, 3/2. Whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may return it to its owner's hand. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. So what we got here is we got piracy on a creature and a horror for that matter. I don't know that I see a lot of horrors, especially in blue, but here we are. And actually, I love the flavor text here. It says, "You studied hard. How delicious." Obviously, this guy is just eating brains, but not in a zombie way. But either way, if you were jealous of green having Toski, and there you go. You have Gracilax, as if blue didn't have everything else already. And speaking of having everything, Guild Thief, Orc, Rogue. Whenever Guild Thief deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Coming action. For 3 and a blue, Guild Thief can't be blocked this turn. So for 2 mana, you get a 1/1 that just continuously gets bigger and bigger. But for 4 it becomes unblockable. So I don't know. That's a lot of mana to invest for it to be unblockable. If it ends up being good, I don't know. We'll see. I don't think so. Let's move on to the white. We have Moonblessed Cleric for 2 and a white. Creature human elf cleric for 3/2. Wow, that's a lot. Human elf cleric? I guess that's a thing. We have Divine Intervention? I'm sorry. Divine Intervention. When Moonblast Cleric enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an enchantment card, reveal it, then shuffle and put that card on top. So what is this? This is an Enlightened Tutor on a body. For 3 mana, and you get a 3/2. That, I like this. I don't think it's going to be extremely powerful, but I think it's going to definitely get you an enchantment that you need. White has a lot, whether you're playing stacks or just something fun. Or you can just go to get a Smothering Tide and just annoy everybody. 3/2 is a nice, it's a nice beefy body, so it'll do some damage. It'll trade in combat. 3 is not absurd to pay, especially when you're getting a 3/2. I think this card's gonna be good, but let's see what decks it ends up being in. Dawnbringer Cleric for 1 and a white. 1/3 human cleric. When Dawnbringer Cleric enters the battlefield, choose 1, and you may choose from 3. Cure wounds, you gain 2 life. Dispel magic, destroy target enchantment. Gentle repose, exile target card from a graveyard. So again, this is the thing that I keep on preaching. Give me a card that's rather affordable, and give me options. I love options. I'm almost never gonna gain 2 life, but destroying enchantments, that's definitely something good. Exile target card from a graveyard, that is always a good thing to do. However, it is on a creature, so sorcery speed. But again, you can stop combo setups. Maybe not instant speed combos, but you can stop setups. You hear something on watch. Instant for 1 and a white. Choose one. Rouse the party. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until the end of turn. Nice little combat trick. I like it. For 1 and for 2, you get that. I think right by itself, that was pretty good. Set off traps. This spell deals 5 damage to target attacking creature. Neat combat trick. Neat combat trick. And it's coming in white. Now, white is the color of removal, so you somewhat expect it, but you don't expect it in this way. And the best part is that you can cast this on offense and on defense. We have the artifacts. This one I saw and I got pretty excited, but we're just gonna have to go over some of the things. Artifact, treasure chest for 3, generic. For 4, you may sacrifice treasure chest. Roll a d20. So right away you're investing 7. So whatever. Yes, it costs 3, but it's gonna be 4. So either you're gonna play it on turn 3 and cash out turn 4, or you're just gonna play it later on, but it's gonna cost you 7. So remember, this costs 7. And it says roll a d20, and I want to be very, very specific. You have to roll a d20, not a spin down. So just so everyone knows, this is a spin down. It goes from the logo, and then it goes 19, 18, 17, and then it goes down in sequential until it gets down to the 1. That's not actually random, so that is not what you should use. What you should use is a true d20, which has the sequence, non-sequential numbers. The numbers are more random, so this is the true roll. So make sure you roll a d20, not a spin down. Anyway, let's just go over to the effects. For if you roll a 1, you get trapped. You lose 3 life. And 2 through 9, you create 5 treasure tokens. So that's kind of nice. I mean, yeah, you spend 7, but you get 5. Maybe, if chance allows it. 10 through 19, you gain 3 life and draw 3 cards. Gain some life, draw 3 cards for 7 mana. I don't know. But I will say the card is fun. The card's going to be super fun. But if you roll a 20, you will search the library for a card. If it's an artifact card, you may put that card onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put that card into your hand. Then shuffle. So you're paying 7 for the chance to Demonic Tutor. You're paying 7 for the chance to... what is it? Treasure Cruise? Some other card? I don't know. But it's like a really, really expensive Ancestral Recall. So, a 7 cost Ancestral Recall. That's, I don't know about that. Creating 5 treasure tokens? That's pretty okay. Maybe someone can break this card. I don't know. But the only thing I can say about this, it's a fun card. I think I will definitely play it because it's fun. I'll definitely put in Commander. I don't know that it's going to get play anywhere else. But if it does, I want to see it. Because if this card can pop off and be broken, I want to see it. And the last card for this spoiler video, it is a land. We have Cave of the Frost Dragon. It's a land. If you control 2 or more other lands, Cave of the Frost Dragon enters the battlefield tapped. So, if it's in the first couple of turns, it's coming to play untapped, and you can do with it as you wish. If it's later in the game, it's going to come into play tapped, but it does add white. And for 4 and a white, Cave of the Frost Dragon becomes a 3/4 white dragon creature with flying until the end of turn. It's still a land. I like it. I mean, I like any land that can turn itself into a creature. Sometimes it matters. Sometimes you can do little, nice little combat tricks. Other times, it's the only creature that you have. You may end up getting, your top decking is absolute garbage, and you're getting nothing. Well, you have a 3/4 with the evasion that's at least doing something. So on 101, I think this will be pretty good actually, because three's not bad, and you can still defend with a 3/4. Commander, flavor, I like it. I just personally see a lot of cards are gonna go in this in my dragon deck that I'm building. Deck coming up, and that is the end of this spoiler video. Make sure you look for the upcoming videos for more spoilers. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Mtgchuy, and also on Twitch, where you can watch me play Arena. Twitch, Mtgchuy. And that's the video.